G'day all, it's Glenn from Facklands Fish here again. I'm doing a video today on the recent group buy that we put through down here, where I offered up some Thailand bred imported peacocks for sale to the locals here in Tassie. Just wanted to discuss a few of what I think are big advantages that this method of purchasing and on-selling provides. Advantages to me as the seller and advantages to you as the buyer. So this one's really targeted at Tassie folk. This is a concept I want to get up and running where I do regular buy-ins and we all benefit from. Hope you enjoy. So I've long held the belief that this is a cost-effective way of buying fish in and not being stuck with the obligation of holding a lot of fish that may or may not sell. But as always, we need to test the market, and in this case I thought I'd throw out an expression of interest on my Facebook page, which we did about 3 weeks ago. Pretty picture to catch the eye, a bit of a spiel about what I was sort of thinking about offering, and leaving it open to the punter to show me their interest. And we did get a good response to this post. There was a number of comments came in to the effect that everyone was keen to see some information and to bring it on. So that put it back to me to come up with a way of getting the information out in a formal fashion. Now, the method I decided to go with was to set up a Gmail template, so that if someone would send me an email to my current email address with a particular keyword in the subject line, they would get an automated response, which in my case was pretty important, because to reply to everyone's individual inquiries is very time consuming, and a lot of people don't just get how much effort goes into that and how draining it is. I did a bit of learning and set up this template within Gmail so that if you sent me an email with the code word peacocks, you got this response back, which included all the information and the price list as it stands, and allowed you to get that response within a matter of seconds. So at this point, we know we've got 4 orders in to participate in this group buy-in, and this brings us to the point where we discussed the benefits that are in this for me. The first and foremost is you know what sales you've got, and that you've hit a benchmark that you've set for the dollar value of the order for it to be viable to go ahead and cover all the costs involved. The second one is probably more important. When you look at these grow out tanks on the right and all the fish I'm holding and growing on, there's just nothing worse than trying to guess what people want to buy, and you bring fish in hoping that you are going to get a sale and you don't. And then you're feeding fish, you're looking after fish, you've had to buy fish that don't sell. It's money locked up, and it's a lot of hard work. The buy-in, hand out a bag of fish straight to the customer, is the most cost-effective way, in my opinion, for me to order fish. So I'm going to start with the security tape, which indicates that this box has been inspected at Hobart Airport and is compliant, presumably, because I've now got it, with local state laws. Heat pack, invoice, bit of rubbish, and
Obviously it's about 6 degrees out here at the moment, so as quick as I can I want to get these fish inside and floating. My supplier's done a great job. This order today is a group of combined orders from various customers, and you can see he's labelled that for me, order 4, order 7. So it's a matter of me finding all the 4s and putting them together. These are some of the 10 centimetre imported Thai peacocks, assorted. You can already see there's loads of colour here, and these have been coming up on 20 or 22 hours in the bag at this time and shipped in a form of mild sedatives. But even with that, looking good.
All I'm doing in the shed at the moment is getting these fish floating in my tanks, which is going to help bring the temperature back up from the trip. They came with heat packs, so the fish are good in that respect, and just record keeping on collating the various bags from each order together so that it just makes it easier at handover to the customer. Now, another benefit I forgot to mention from my point of view is that these fish are never going to be released into my tanks, and that has an advantage in the disease and hygiene point of view. There's no risk of me bringing something into my shed that wasn't there this morning. Obviously we're looking at each bag carefully to be confident that these fish are happy and well enough to go straight back out the door to their new home.
It's such a great help when fish are properly labelled. It can be a nightmare to identify otherwise. This is really good.
Giddy up, boy, giddy up. So even though I'm going at double speed here now, I hope you can still get an idea of the amount of effort and work that goes into unpacking an order of fish. And it gets a little bit worse with this because some of the peacocks here unfortunately are going to need to be opened and have a water change and be regassed before they go on to the next phase of shipping out the door to their new home. So I'm getting a bit edgy right about now.
This spot as you can see it's still fully taped down after that, which is not what is meant to happen at my security, but not that I've got anything to hide here today. But it does make you wonder what comes in that perhaps shouldn't. Again, I'm probably going to stop filming now, and I'm just going to knuckle into getting these fish let out. Show you the results a bit later.
So this is the part where we talk about the benefits to you, the customer, from this method of buying fish. Pretty much the chance to get fish like this is a key benefit. We're a bit of a victim down here in Tassie of not much left in the way of decent bricks and mortar style fish shops, and we're served up the limited range of fish that gets supplied by some of the big chain style pet stores, which means that sourcing some nice fish can be pretty difficult. I'm still a little bit networked with some decent suppliers on the mainland, and that gives me the chance to offer up some stuff like what we have here. These larger peacocks actually were part of the order. One customer took 10 of these, and thank you very much for that significant part of the order. But they didn't have enough oxygen in bags that I was confident in just on shipping them as is. So they're sitting in this tank for an hour or so until it's time to go back in the box. Colour's pretty amazing on these, and just very, very happy with what turned up. Another benefit that you get from this method is that, like I mentioned before with the disease, one of the big knocks on fish from the pet store is a lot of people have trouble with disease and hygiene, and so much of that's got to do with the stress that poor fish has been under. It gets shipped from a wholesaler to a pet store, and then every 3 minutes there's someone in that tank with a net chasing it, and it's no wonder that they get stressed. And by the time you get them home, they're battling. The method we've used today, where bags of fish have been handed straight from box to customer, it minimises a lot of that, and that's going to give you a much better result in the long term. Probably the final and significant benefit is the cost at which you're able to access some of these fish, because we've eliminated some steps in handling and ongoing care. That's allowed me to price these at a point that is going to be very competitive when you line it up against the big stores. Now, some people might say that I'm not supporting the bricks and mortar industry. Like, I guess that's partially true, but it's also not true if we don't have specialist stores that are going to offer the right sort of quality cichlids that people are chasing. Then, I feel I'm okay to jump in and try and fill the void. It just some reference points and some benchmarks, because I do want to get this method established in Tassie. I strongly believe it's important to give people access to some different stuff like barramundi, and there's other stuff I can get from time to time, but what it really needs is support from you guys, the customers. Now, going back to the beginning of the video, we started with Facebook. 20-something people responded and said they were really interested and wanted to know more. From that, about 15 bothered to get the price list, and all they had to do was look at that price list. From that, we got 4 orders from people that I have sold fish to at some point, but basically new customers. So the capture rate wasn't great. 4 people that bought fish, and it was only lucky that a few of my inner circle people got involved, and that helped get it out to seven people buying fish in one order. But it wasn't bad for a first go. So I'm looking forward to trying again with maybe a different theme next time, and I hope that with a bit of coverage on my Facebook and so on, that people will get involved. I got a lot of positive feedback from this, and I really would like to try and help Tasmanians out by giving them the opportunity to get some decent fish. I hope you've enjoyed participating and watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.